guys, we're back. Making one of my favorite dishes out there for the summertime, Kotlet or Cutlet. It's a great dish, potato and eggs and onions. It's pretty hearty, great cold or hot. We're using an air fryer this time. Make it nice and light versus deep frying them. Simple seasoning, salt, turmeric, ginger, garlic, pepper, and a little bit of cinnamon, all-purpose flour and cornstarch to coat. So let's get down to it. Start off with taking your potatoes and onions and shredding them. First, peel your potatoes, cut out any black eyes you may have, and any weird marks in general. You don't have to be fancy. White potato, Brussels potato, anything simple would work. Get down to shredding each one. You can use a box grater or hand grater as I'm using. Here we go. You gotta love that noise. And after the potatoes, we're gonna work on these onions and try not to cry. You know, they say, make you Kotlet, they must love you, because you sure are crying. I don't know how my mom did her whole life. God bless her. You're left with a soggy mess after that of potatoes and onions. You want to drain off all the excess liquid. The less liquid, the crispier you're going to be with your Kotlet at the end. This is even if you're deep frying them, you want to do this process. Everything's the same, deep fried or air fried. Just the ending is going to be different in the way we prepare to cook it. We'll show you soon. Make sure all that liquid's squeezed out. It's okay, it doesn't have to be totally dry, just majority of the liquid out. You'll set that liquid of onions to marinate some kebab in. Here we go, I got my ground beef mixture. 1 egg to every pound of beef I like to add. Some people do more, some people do less. I think this is a great combo, don't need to get too heavy. The beef really stands out in this dish. Add my spice mix. We're going to season to taste at the end, or before we get to making the patties. First we'll do a taster. Let's add our mixture of onions and potatoes that are raw and shredded and drained. Add those guys in. And remember to kind of do the potatoes right when you're ready to mix everything together so they don't get black and air gets to them. After you give a nice meat massage, get checked for see how moist it is. You want to be not super moist, you want to be a little bit more on the sticky side. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of all-purpose flour, adding about half a tablespoon to this pound of beef and pound of potato mixture. This is going to make it a little bit stickier, make them form a little bit better into patties. A little bit more meat massaging. There we go, get everything incorporated. What we do is we make a little sampler taste right here to fry up, just so we can see how much salt content we have, because those potatoes are going to soak up a lot of salt. So before we do that, we're going to take our flour mixture, add our cornstarch for extra crisp. This is my secret. Cornstarch makes it really crispy in that air fryer. Lightly coat our test patty. This is a little baby mini patty. Obviously ours is going to be much larger, you'll see. Don't need to get too heavy on the coating, just light coating, like a dusting. Throw them in some hot oil. We're going to fully cook this test piece in the oil, and that's not hot. Good job, Solar. Yeah. Alright, there we go, sizzling. That's what you want. You want to hit the pan and start sizzling. That way it doesn't soak up too much oil, but this is just a test piece, so we'll see what happens at the end with the salt. I actually ended up adding a little bit more salt to the mix after tasting it, but now it's perfect, I believe. So what I'm going to do is take a handful, pat it out into my palm, make sure they're about 1/2 inch to less thickness, and throw them into the flour cornstarch mix on each side, lightly coating. Don't need to get too crazy with this, just a light coating. And if you look, they're about the same shape as your palm, and that's the traditional way. Some people make them a little thicker, some people make them a little thinner. I like the 1/2 inch mark. Throw them in a hot oil pan. I use a light vegetable oil, no need to use olive oil. And all we're trying to do is get some searness to it so it sticks together once we throw it into the air fryer. Traditionally, if you want to do a traditional fry, you would fill this up halfway full of light canola oil and throw those guys in to fully cook for 10 to 15 minutes. There we go, some fry music for you. Make sure we just get a light coloring on each side. Don't need to fully cook them. The air fryer is going to do all our work for us. This way it's not soaking up so much oil. It's a little bit lighter in texture and just less oily at the end. I like it. And there you go, racked up on our air fry rack. Got a light bit of color. Inside obviously is raw. Air frying is going to finish them off. You'll see us set up the air fryer in a minute. There we go. See, it's a little bit of color, not much. So we're going to set our air fryer. Everyone's a little different to air fry. And I either put it at 350 to 400. I'm doing a 375 to start. I actually ended up pumping it up to 400 to get a little darker color at the end. But it was about 12 to 15 minutes in total into the air fryer. And they are finished up. You see all that extra oil and fat that dripped down through that air fryer, making it nice and light. Super, super crunchy on the outside. I mean, these guys were not heavy, just light, fluffy, and crunchy on the exterior. Just delicious in itself. That air fryer really makes a good job of getting them crisp on each side. I think the key is that rack. And here's a finished plate for you guys wondering how you should be serving it up. This cutlet's got a little bit of lavash in the backdrop, mixed green herbs, herb salad basically, tomatoes and Persian cucumber, and a spring onion. I'm going to show you how to make a little lokmeh for yourselves. What I'm going to do is just take a little bit of flat bread, lavash in this case, throw my cutlet in the middle like a taco, throw a little Mediterranean pickle in there, some of my mixed herbs, it's a little parsley, basil, mint, fresh tomato, and in the backdrop I have Grandma's torshi, which is a mixture of mixed pickles and vinegar. This is a whole nother video in itself, but I love the saltiness of it. And that's why I keep my cutlet a little less salty than average. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed that one. I sure did. Please click and subscribe. Looking forward to it, getting some more videos coming out soon. Take care. Cheers.